Real estate crowdfunding is considered illiquid, so to increase liquidity, tech-savvy entrepreneurs introduce asset tokenization, or property tokenization and crowdfunding. Property tokenization is a great way to attract crypto investors who are always looking at interesting ways to diversify their portfolio. In combination with crowdfunding, crypto investments can become a powerful tool to finance real estate projects of different caliber. For example, is a tokenized real estate investment platform which focuses on retail investors who can start with only $50. Investment property deals range from 100,000 to over 300,000 US dollars and offer returns at 15 to 23% IRR. An interesting feature is that the funding amount is presented in the form of tokens that are available for purchase, but if you click on the offering, you'll see the actual dollar amount behind the tokens. Investing in tokenized real estate is only getting its momentum, but how does it technically work? It describes the tokenization process as the method of converting rights to an asset into an ERC20 digital token. But how does it work? First, a digital copy of the asset is created, then the large asset is divided into smaller tokens. The tokens are sold to investors, and a liquidity for the asset is created through the blockchain network. In the case of the Yuridi platform, investors get paid in a USDC stablecoin. Now, how can existing or new crowdfunding platforms leverage the tokenization capabilities? You would need a solution to create, issue, and manage digital securities on the blockchain. There are many providers on the market who can help with investment software, and Polymath is the security token provider on the Ethereum blockchain. We've built an integration to help businesses launch crowdfunding portals and investment marketplaces powered by blockchain.
How you list properties on Smartblocks, and you're very knowledgeable about this. So can you walk people through how you list a property on Smartblocks? The first step I'll just say is you go to smartblocks.xyz and you go to list your property. There's a link on there myself, but you're basically looking for list your property. Then you fill out a form, and then our team's notified. And what happens after that, Ghassan?
Then we will list it in your behalf, and you will get a notification on the clock, to be honest, either by email or either notification in the website. However, we're testing the journey, and after that, based to the user experience, we will reach very soon to upload your details and your property in our list, either the same way for the developer, and you will be getting the verifying and approval second step.
Question, this is perfectly up your alley. What future developments can we expect from Smartblocks?
Our limit is the sky, Mike, because I believe with the add value we are trying to do in the communities, in everywhere, actually, this is the good part, is it? Because we are not related to any nationality, we are not related to any color code, we are not related to any, let's say, religions. We care about the humanities. Whether you are Indian, whether you are US, you are an Arab, you are in Africa, you are in Europe, it's mean you have the rights to get a different resource of income and to scale your income in your life. You deserved a better lifestyle, actually. And this is our main core business in our website. So that's why when I said our dream is big, we will reach to have our own projects, fully projects handled and developed and controlled by the Smartblocks, in order to ensure to keep that segmentation is democratized and everybody has the rights to have a small piece of, let's say, ownership.
Yep. This is the developer portal you're looking at. We've got two. One's the investor, which is very, very sexy, and one is the developer portal, which you're looking at right now. So the developer portal is not as sexy, but it's very easy to use. It is your CRM for managing each of your projects and the fundraising process, or if you already own the real estate, in looking at who owns your property, your investor, that all in one glance, and the cap table is updated automatically. And if you own multiple properties, it would all be shown here in the dashboard. As I said, the cap table is constantly updated, even if it's sold in the secondary markets. So how can we do that? But because it's on the blockchain, and because every wallet that buys a security token has to have been through a KYC, AML, you know who they are. And so you can communicate with them. You can ask them to be involved in your next deal. I mean, these are people from all over the world that you never would have reached before. And of course, the chat, you could chat with your investors, you can chat with prospective investors. All of that's handled here on our platform for you, just the developer. Okay, the investor is seeing their own version of this on the investor portal. You're seeing it here in the developer portal. And the dividends are paid out automatically. Like I said, you fund a wallet, and then any token holder, we will distribute it based on what they own percentage-wise to them automatically. This is a fund and forget type situation. We're just wiring it to their accounts if they paid with cash or fiat, as I call it, or sending them back usually a stable coin if they paid with any form of crypto. Just an example what the messages look like, you know, just a standard chat type interface, but it's pretty powerful because in an instant you can communicate with everybody, keep them informed of the project or what's going on. We also have polls and voting. If you want to give voters rights, if you want to democratize your property entirely, you can do that. Not many people do, but you can. You can create that type of situation, or you can hear from different investors on what they would do, or, you know, it's just an easier way of communicating with investors, and all this is saved to the platform. So if anything were to happen in the future, you can always bring this up as your Carfax record, right? I got to come up with a fancy name for this, but a real estate record, because it's all stored on our platform and eventually on the blockchain.